in the cabbage.
Let's get it.
Test.
Yeah, we're live.
Welcome to In the Cabbage. This is crazy.
This is pretty bananas right now that we're actually doing this.
I'm Tommy Swain, Andrew Witt. Please subscribe, please listen, please download, like. And just a reminder, keep swinging. Welcome back to In the Cabbage. I'm your boy, Tommy Swain. To my right, or your left, Andrew Witt.
What's up, y'all?
Buddy, we are back. Better than ever. The podcast might be a skosh late. Just a skosh.
Just a skosh. There might have been a little hiccup in the road here.
Yeah, we were going to record on...
But hey, can we give a little shout out to us first vid on YouTube? I mean, come on now.
The boys really came together.
It only took us like 2 months to figure that shit out.
And now you can enjoy it. It's on there for you guys.
For you.
We have a new background. Currently, you're going to be seeing a lot of change here. We're going to change up locations.
Let's see what works, you know?
I finally put some decorations in my house after living there for over a year.
That's going to be fire. That's going to be fire.
So
I forgot about that.
A little less blank.
We would have had a test run at it if some little dum-dum over here in a little maroon sweatshirt didn't forget the laptop. One job. Well, two, be there on time, bring the energy as we always do, bring the laptop.
That was
Bring
tough.
The laptop.
It's tough sometimes. And it's also on me as a best friend knowing who you are to not remind you.
Let's put up a little hand up accountability though and point the finger at the person who really, really boils down to, and that's your boy over here.
I get that. But you know, it's like if you see me and my brain is just going 1,000 miles an hour.
I'm gonna help you out.
1,000-yard stare.
I'm gonna help you out.
You always snap me out of it. So, you know, it's just part of it. There's a lot of major events we kind of haven't talked about. We're just going to touch on some Superbowl, waste management. We also had our Ryder Cup, so stay tuned for that for the end of the podcast. It's going to be a banger here. We're just going to start rolling the Super Bowl here. 49ers versus the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great Super Bowl. It was one of the more entertaining ones. At the very beginning, it was a little slow.
It was a lot of pillow fighting at the beginning in the first half, dude.
Yeah, a lot of very nervous about not making turnovers. And
then there were turnovers.
Right.
CMC had a fumble.
Right.
Someone else fumbled. I've got to jog my memory a little bit now because it's been a couple weeks here.
It's been too long.
Yeah. But it was a bit of a pillow fight at first, dude. A lot of punting back and forth, not a lot of action going on. But then second half, the boys really started turning it up.
Yeah, second half, I mean, they all came into their own. I think Purdy played about as well as you probably could have hoped.
Yeah.
I don't know where Purdy sits in the elite quarterback race right now in the NFL.
It's hard to tell, but he definitely gets way too much slander.
Yeah,
way too much.
I think that after this Super Bowl, hopefully moving forward, it's also on the Niners as well at the beginning of the year, debating whether he was going to play or not and start. Because the rumors come from somewhere.
Well, and he's coming back from a torn UCL.
Right.
You know, it's not like he was like coming off a perfect season and he's coming in all healthy. You just don't know what kind of version you're going to get from Brock Purdy. Yes, the surgeries are great. We've talked about it so many times. But you still have the mental side. And maybe sometimes the surgery doesn't go perfectly physically as well. So you got that kind of going on. I thought that he played and put together a really, really solid, great season in the MVP race for a majority of the year. And he should have been because I think he was one of the top 5 to top 3 quarterbacks this year.
Yeah, if you're talking about stats.
Yeah, and just efficiency, touchdown interception ratio, wins. Yes, he plays for a great team. But you still got to make the plays.
Still got to make the dubs.
Yeah, you can't just go out there and just start winging it from your hip thinking you're going to be okay because you got all these studs.
Right.
It doesn't work like that. You're playing against other studs in the NFLs and some other great corners and coverages and defensive schemes. So I think that with what he did in his second year, also remind you he was the Mr. Irrelevant pick. Which
is so crazy to be the last pick in the NFL draft and then be a starting quarterback on like one of the most historic franchises in the NFL.
You see succeeding. Exactly. You see countless times quarterbacks going in the top 5 picks, and then you don't even know their name after 3 years.
Yeah, it happens
all the time.
All the time.
So I guess time will tell. I guess that's the biggest indicator. But I thought he played as well as he could have, and sure, could he made a couple more plays? Yeah, there's a lot left on the table, but I think he had a solid performance.
I mean, Mr. Irrelevant playing in a Super Bowl after his second year after coming off surgery and getting to the conference finals the first year. Like, you gotta think, like, okay, he's probably a little nervous. Like, I don't know really what you want from him. Also, like, he's playing the Chiefs.
Yeah.
The Chiefs are going to give you a hard game no matter what when Andy Reid has one more mission, one more goal, which is to just beat you.
I heard that he's also coming back next year, which is great.
Andy Reid?
Yeah.
I think he's going to retire when Kelsey retires, to be honest with you.
You think so? I can see that happening in a year or two.
I thought Kelsey was going to retire after winning it this year. Shout outs to the Chiefs. I mean, Chief Kingdom, you guys are just loving every minute of it. I don't think you're going to have any issues as long as Patrick Mahomes is on your team.
As long as that man's under center, everything's going to be A-okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it really matters who your coach is going to be. I mean, it definitely helps when you have Andy Reid. But for the most part, I mean, the Chiefs.
Not a lot of losing seasons. Let's just leave it at that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be successful more times than not.
Now the Chiefs can go and get wide receivers this year. You already have Pacheco. He's coming back for sure.
He's going to be great.
And he's definitely going to keep running the way he's running. Now you're actually going to put people out there with some hands. Your defense is so solid. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're just going to be another monster next year.
I saw a couple posts on Instagram pretty recently, and for some reason, I got a couple 49er like fan pages and all that kind of stuff. And there were multiple times in the game where I saw the Chiefs holding the defensive line of the 49ers countless times. On Bosa, on the other defensive end.
Yeah, I saw that. A couple really bad holds. But that happens. It's so hard because it's such a small snippet of the whole game.
It's weird, though, because I wish I had better trained football eyes, like
to see what was happening.
To see that live time, because I don't notice any of that. And I notice a PI, or like a face mask or like a helmet to helmet. That kind of seemed like a personal foul. Mm-hmm. I don't really catch holdings very often. That's one thing where I don't really see it, but it's a massive penalty if you are missing that or if you're calling it. So I don't know. I didn't know if that was, I'm sure it was happening on the other side of the football.
Yeah, and of course when your team's losing and you guys are sucking, you're going to be like, oh, they're holding. Yeah. I'm sure they're holding. I mean, I saw videos, it was definite, but like that's just part of football.
Yeah, some of them I saw that were just blatant holds, though.
Blatant holds.
Yeah, like they missed like two big calls, and I remember the plays. So I don't know. I think it's the whole thing of people also trying to build this conspiracy theory, right? Of like the Kelsey and then Swift, and then he's gonna propose after if they won, and like if they wanted to do that for ratings, and I mean, it's just a big hoax, and I think that it was pretty even, and I think the better team came up on top. But the one thing I did want to talk about with you was the whole Shanahan experience with the whole interview and after the game, and him not knowing, or him knowing but not fully knowing, like the playoff rules of scoring.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Because that was new news to me. I did not know that. I thought that was wild.
I don't know why, but I kind of had a feeling that's a college football rule. I think both teams in college football get a shot at it.
Does that change in the playoffs for college football? I think it's the same 25-yard rule, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's new for the NFL. That's pretty crazy for Shanahan not to know.
Or his players not to know.
Right.
How do you not talk about that as a coach?
Right.
Or, like maybe they did talk about it once, but it wasn't emphasized. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I remember seeing a clip of some player coming off the sideline being like, I mean, I guess we want the ball first. And like, clearly you don't want the ball first.
No.
Clearly you want it second.
Even if you go down and score a touchdown, now you know as the team getting the second.
Look at it.
Yeah, exactly. You got 4 downs.
Yeah.
You got to score. You got 4 downs.
Right. Well, the Niners go out. They ask for the ball first. They kick a field goal. No big deal. Chiefs come down.
Immediately. Flying through.
Yeah, end it.
And also, I didn't know this either. Well, I didn't know this. I mean, I could have assumed this, but there's no ties, obviously. So then it was getting close to the end of the first overtime period.
Go second.
It just rolls into the second period.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew that too. Everyone's like, oh, you got to watch the clock. I'm like, there's no way they end it like this. They have one possession to score. It could take 400 minutes. It doesn't matter.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I thought it was a good Super Bowl. I'm, very excited for next year to start with the Chargers. Going to dive myself a bit more into fandom.
We got some good things cooking, and I'm excited. It looks like we got a couple of things where Harbaugh is bringing a couple of coaches with him that's familiar, what he had over at the 49ers, what he had at Michigan. Pretty successful programs. Maybe he brings a little bit of that to the Chargers, baby. Turn something around. We need a little bit of luck.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to need some. I think the coaching, he's going to come in, build a culture. That's what he does. I think he's always like Justin Herbert. I was listening to a podcast with him, and it was like he admired Justin Herbert when he got to the Chargers and even in college. So it wasn't a new thing for him. I think a majority of the reason why he went to the Chargers is to work with Justin Herbert.
I think so, too. And he also played for the Chargers.
So I think
at quarterback.
I think it was a great home for him. I did have a theory going back to the Super Bowl, that little Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. So Papa had a couple drinks and sent you a voice memo about a theory I had. So obviously this relationship seems to be the real thing. And Taylor Swift bringing the buzz to this, the NFL, probably not needed, but definitely always wanted.
Of course. No one's going to shy away from that. Great for publicity.
Right. So next year, how are we going to upgrade? Well, this is my theory. I think Travis and Taylor go on a Super Bowl tour together during the season. I think Taylor goes the weekend before each game for the, Travis, and sells the stadium out, and then just stays there for a week and just hangs out. And they hang out. She gets to tour still. It's a lot less shows, so she's going to fill the thing out. It's going to be crazy. It's going to work. I think the marketing behind it would be insane. Now, would it be great for Kelce? Financially, definitely. But football legacy, I don't know.
Yeah. I just don't really want to see that as an NFL fan. I don't need to see any more of that. It would be a great stunt. I don't know if maybe Taylor Swift would potentially go for it, though, because when she goes on tour and goes everywhere.
Right.
Flies all over the place.
I think if she took a season, though, I'm not saying forever.
Yeah.
Not every season.
And it's only away games, right? Maybe
maybe
a home game here or there. Does she need to do 8 home games?
No, maybe just every away game they go to.
And one home game.
Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 home games. And I think every stadium in the NFL would say yes to that.
Oh my God.
There's no way they'd say no.
NFL would be throwing a bag at that for the team.
Oh my God. They would
so
do
much publicity.
So much publicity.
Yeah.
Oh, Taylor Swift coming to Tampa. Come get your tickets. It's the Travis and Taylor Super Bowl, whatever, victory lap.
And then you have the New Heights program going over there as well. Jason's traveling, doing some crazy things. Maybe he makes his way onto the CBS NFL Network.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he'd be a great reporter. And you get the whole situation going. You just blow the hell up with this whole Kelce Swift situation.
I think that's a great idea. I don't know if his brother Jason would want to. I think he'd be great at it. I think he wants to just do podcast stuff and be home.
Yeah.
And he's definitely a family man, so who knows? Me, I would be wherever I can go, however I can get there.
We're available.
I'm ready to go. I can announce and be scared the whole time. Whatever you need.
Crazy take. But, it would be great for the NFL as a whole as far as growth and some money and maybe some more returns for the players. But I don't know. We'll see. Only time will tell again.
Yeah. I think it'd be fun for Taylor. I don't know if she really needs them to do it. Or
she also just doesn't need any more cash.
Right.
How much could you actually want?
She's so good on money that she doesn't have to tour for money.
She does boost the economy, though. That's what she does well.
Right, but you go to these small market teams.
Yeah.
Go to the Giants.
Yeah.
Not the Giants, but I meant Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Go Buffalo and go see them. The Jets could use some love, I'm sure.
To say Houston Texans, the
right.
Tennessee Titans. The
I mean, it's a sold out football stadium for a night
100%.
with concessions going
100%.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I think it just would help out a lot. And I don't know. I can foresee it happening. If you see it happen, know here that they stole our idea, and I will sue.
All they got.
For everything.
Honestly, maybe just like $50K would be nice, honestly.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I'd
Go a long way.
Right.
Go a long way.
Another major event, sporting event, happens the same weekend as the Super Bowl, which is the Waste Management Open.
And boy, oh boy, did that look like a nightmare.
A zoo. For you guys who don't know golf super well, Waste Management Open is a tournament that is held in Arizona.
Big old party.
And it's just a party tournament.
Yeah.
People are booing players in like a fun, teasing way, hammer drinking, streaking. It's definitely a party college environment golf tournament. But it's also a major golf tournament. There's some big names there usually every year. The players enjoy it most of the time. But I think this year, which we were talking about, kind of got way too rowdy.
Yeah, and the rain didn't help because then it was also delayed and longer hours.
Right.
And then you're also having to deal with a place where they normally don't get any rain as well. Like TBC Scottsdale does not get much rain, so then there's a lot of mud because there's a lot of dirt, and then people are just flying everywhere. They're having to close off sections. You can't sit on the hills because they're all super muddy.
Right.
It just caused so many issues. And then they were overfilling the grandstands, and like it looked like a zoo when I looked on Instagram. And let me tell you, I do not want any part of that.
No, I don't either. I heard there was other things like the shuttles broke down or something happened the Sunday morning, and so they had to bus people in and have them park off site. And
I also saw that people had tickets and they weren't letting them in because they reached capacity at one point for what they could actually handle.
Which is, I think that was the peak of that event, and I think you're never going to see it like that again.
I think it left a couple people with some bad taste in their mouth.
Yeah, I mean, it is okay. It's a fine line you have to tote, right? Golf is such a embedded history sport, a gentleman's sport. You're supposed to play the sport with like honor and grace, and you're supposed to be like, hell a little high, a little snooty at times.
Good old gentleman's game.
Yeah. And in the younger generation, we want to get into golf to grow the game. There's not a lot of that left in the world. Not a lot of like sports where it's a gentleman's game or things that are like genuinely or private or country club-esque vibes.
Yeah.
Are really like the younger generation really enjoy. I still enjoy it to a degree. I do think it can be way too snooty at times, but I do like the players having some class that carry themselves. Do I want them to have personality? I think that you can do both.
Yeah.
I think you can carry yourself and also have some personality. I think Max Homa does a great job at that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the man's tons of class, but also can be personable and
Victor Hovland's another guy that comes to mind for me.
Right. I think that's the generation of what golfers should be acting like. They can have some beers, they can wear hoodies on courses, but at the same time, like, they just carry themselves with a certain level of class.
For sure. What did you think about Zach Johnson and the comments and how he popped off at the gallery? Having said and prefaced everything of the tournament of that sort, you need to have both. You need to have grace. It's a gentleman's game. I think, but at the same time, I feel like maybe the tournament is a little bit rowdy. So what do you?
Yeah, I think it crossed the line to like this is no longer golf. I mean, yes, golf is being played, but it's not. It doesn't have the same like level of build up.
Yeah.
Or like I thought
finesse.
Finesse. I don't know what it misses when it gets too rowdy. I guess I would have to think about that more. But it misses a certain level of like je ne sais quoi. It doesn't have the same feel when people are like streaking and jumping off things and like sliding down mud pits, and
it looks like a madhouse. It looks crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it looks like you're in a party environment in a park and there's people trying to like do a very expensive.
You become the secondary event almost. Like people are just raging around you. It's not even really about the golf anymore.
Right. It goes away from the golf very quick.
Yeah.
When there's outside distractions. So back to Zach Johnson. It looked bad for him. overall.
It was a terrible look, dude. Terrible look. And Billy Horschel also popped off, and I like Billy. And he
Billy popped off. I can understand Billy's a bit more because people are talking in his backswing.
Right.
And it's not Billy's backswing. It was his playing partner's backswing.
Right.
And that's just, it's so tough. I know people who don't play golf is like, what's the big deal? I talk with my buddy swings or how it's to throw you off that much. Well, it doesn't if you're not giving a shit. If you're just slapping around having fun. But when you're like trying to fully lock in for that like 15, 20 seconds of each shot when there's hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line or your future playing career, like the last thing you need is like 4 drunk college kids going like, you suck, oh, you suck, like in the middle of your...
I was going to say, who knows what they're saying in their backswing,
screaming
too.
at you,
making
sounds, like just trying to fuck with you, and because you have a bet or whatever. It's just, that's again, like it's just crossing the line. I thought Billy's was more understandable. Zach, on the other hand, came off the worst, like one of the worst showings USA has had in the Ryder Cup. Maybe not point-wise. I don't know that for a fact.
It was pretty abysmal all around. Performance, energy, the buy-in of the team.
Like it just looked really piss poor. Like they didn't want to be there, and it meant everything to Europe and looked like it meant nothing to us. And so like coming to this event, he's been here before. He comes like every year. Coming to this event, you're going to get chirped. Okay, there's that. Also, like we probably know every year has been building. Like this year was going to be crazy.
Yep.
And you come every year. So how are you not like mentally locked in to take the heat?
That's another thing as well. If you really don't you're frowning upon all those galleries and like, something's going to be said in your backswing, it, then just don't play in the tournament. That's another thing as well. If you know it's coming.
Right.
And you might get like, and also there's all these other factors where your game might not be where you want it to be. You're not playing it that well, whatever the reason is, you're more frustrated. But you can also just not play in that tournament too.
Yeah, like you should know. Like you're probably like, hey, I'm not in the right mental headspace. I probably shouldn't come get my cheeks clapped to the waste management and blow up on people. Now, I'm sure they crossed the line. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were chirping him the whole time. They were following him, trying to get underneath his skin. But like at that point, just tell like security to like kick him out.
Yeah.
But at the same time it's so slammed. It's going to take forever to get anywhere. You could, like you said, it would take a lot for me to go to the Waste Management Open.
Yeah.
Where at that current moment, it does not look fun.
Not at all.
If you would have asked me like 3 years ago,
it looked great then.
Yeah.
We were thinking about going last year for the bachelor party as well. You know?
But we realized,
like, we had Super Bowl and we wanted to make it more of a golf trip. We'd be better to do more golf runs, all that kind of stuff. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
it would have been fun.
My one last thing, because I do want to play a little put a little caveat into this as well. But I feel like NBA athletes get the opportunity to talk to fans when they are popping off at them. Do you see that maybe the PGA Tour is a little bit different in that regard because it is a more gentleman sport and that comes off a little bit harshly? Or is it maybe have to do with the NBA? You can you're playing a little bit more of a physical sport and then you can then chirp back at the fans.
I can tell you,
you know what I mean?
I get it. There's a difference. So you can chirp back at fans in the NBA. No problem. Encouraged.
Right.
And some degrees. Stopping the game and kicking somebody out of the game in the NBA, not encouraged. So like when LeBron says, hey, this person crossed the line, get him out of here, they always get booed. It's always a bad look. But like someone talking shit to Spike Lee on the way down and not like kind of blowing past it, totally fine. You just can't cross the line. Now, if Zach Johnson was getting chirped, then they have a video of him like absolutely striping a shot, putting it to like 2 feet and looking at him and like putting his finger over his mouth as he's walking down the fairway.
There we go.
Would have shut him up.
For sure.
Looked way better.
Way better. Because then it's like
now it's like a competitive chirping thing.
Yeah.
It's you versus me and I'm going to win.
Yeah.
Being like, hey, this has got to stop. Like that's never going to.
Yeah.
I like it. Never going to look good.
For sure. That's good. That's good right there. Because I just had that thought where I was like, maybe is it just the way that he did it, or is it maybe the sport, or like?
I think if you saw Tiger Woods, right, like imagining like on a higher scale getting chirped, I'm sure you got chirped all the time
For sure. For sure.
And the club twirl and the swaggy walk is almost a shut up in itself.
Yeah.
But if you would have seen Tiger like clubs twirl back in his prime, walking and looking at a fan, telling him to shush, that would have been on every billboard. It would have been on it would have been on T-shirts.
Yeah.
Like it's just how you handle that adversity. And Zach Johnson should know better.
For sure. No, that's a good point. He's talked about that as well. He got chirped a lot in his like junior and amateur days.
Yeah, I mean, and Tiger just knows how to handle it. And also as an athlete, like a pro athlete, it's ridiculous that you can't handle a little chirping.
Yeah. Should we just keep the ball rolling here with the T Wood talk? Because I do want to touch on the Genesis a little bit.
Yeah, I would love that. It was Genesis, and then we also talk about his release for his clothing line, the Sunday Red.
Sunday Red, baby.
Yeah, why don't we start the clothing line? We'll go in the open here. Sunday Red, massive Tiger fans. You are.
I mean,
huge.
Yeah,
I'm a Tiger fan.
I'm bummed I actually didn't make it to the Genesis again this year.
Yeah,
but also
Mikey
not.
Went.
Oh, nice. He did.
Yeah, he went. Looked like a great time. Really low key. I'd probably go like on a Thursday or Friday though.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Try to avoid some traffic because I hear parking out there is horrendous.
Yeah, I had a buddy go and they went to a friend's house and then Ubered in. It was like a 10-minute Uber. That's
not bad. I mean, that's pretty par of the course. Massive Tiger fans, you and I.
Yeah, big time.
He left Nike recently and started his own brand under the TaylorMade umbrella, which is huge because, I mean, now Tiger can sponsor people. Now Tiger can have control over certain things. I think the logo is great. I think the name is great. I think it's going to be a huge success. I didn't love what was shown to me.
Yeah, didn't love is... That's a little bit of an undersell there, buddy. You can go ahead and sell a little harder.
I mean, it was...
I love the concept. I'm backing you on that. But the clothing line itself that they brought out, I mean, I might as well have been buying a red, plain Nike polo.
Yeah, that just came out the same thing.
That had no extra swag. Where are the textures? Where are the different fits? Where are the different, like, maybe... stripes or tones or crazy logos? And, like, maybe that's I'm sure that's coming down the line. Yeah. I'm sure that is. But like when it's the grand reveal and how many styles did he bring out? Like 4?
I mean,
5?
it wasn't a bunch. And I get probably why they did it was because it happened so quick. He left Nike, signed with TaylorMade, then the Genesis, which is his tournament.
Yeah.
So they're probably like, we just need to open shop.
For sure.
Just so we can get this we're going to miss a huge market because I can make my merch section as big as I physically can.
Yeah.
I guarantee you the shit sold out. I do agree though. If it was me, I would have just rather waited.
Yeah, just release it for the Masters or something like that. But I don't know.
I hope he does what I think current successful golf clothing companies are doing, which is limited release runs of things.
They should definitely do that. Bring some really cool stuff out.
Tiger, Sunday Red, limited available merch for Masters.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Yada, yada, yada.
And who's really good at that is TaylorMade. TaylorMade does that really well already.
TaylorMade does a great job at it. Vice does a great job at it. Melbon does a great job at it. And I think those brands, I would say you need to start emulating more.
For sure.
Because I think our generation and the generations definitely younger than us aren't going to want the same cookie cutter polos. We want like better like dry fit polos that look like a normal polo, that have good textures and breathing and different patterns. Now I don't want Tiger to come out with like whiskey bottles all over his shirts.
No.
And like sunrises and sunsets.
Let's not stoop to that level.
Like it needs I think Tiger's price range is probably right. I think that $120 for a polo seems right for him.
Yeah, it's outrageous.
I mean, it's way too expensive. $90, $80 would be much more doable for a bigger audience, but I understand. I think it's for Tiger, it will sell. So why might as well not do that?
Do the limited runs. I like the limited runs. That's a good thought.
And then, he's going to sponsor golfers, and that's going to be all time for him.
It should come out with another shoe.
I think shoes are going to be. I think Tiger's going to do shoes amazingly.
He should do shoes well.
I think he might even just do something with FootJoy on the side because he loves FootJoy so much. But who knows? Because I don't think TaylorMade has a lot of golf shoes.
Do they have a partner?
They probably partner with somebody.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
So I don't know if they have the capabilities of making shoes. So I can assume you'll see a FootJoy contract come across your door here shortly.
Yeah, that would be great. I don't know.
Nike's out of golf though. I mean,
you know what? Keep making the apparel. Golf apparel is great.
Yeah, but like, I mean, even then, it's like it's good. I would say it's like a step above like Costco polos.
Yeah, they have a couple of good things that I will say. Like Scotty Scheffler was rocking this past weekend. I liked a lot of the stuff. I don't know what pants he's wearing though. Does Nike release pants?
They do. I just think Nike.
They do sweatshirts well.
They do sweatshirts and pullovers and hats, and that's all great.
But the polos need some work.
But there's no. It doesn't feel like Nike anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like cool or elite. It just feels like a good, solid brand. And I want Nike to get that back to that place of, Nike basketball shoes are still that way. Nike athletes in general are
Maybe
still
just
that
make
way.
golf shoes. Maybe just make some sick golf shoes.
Yeah, make better golf shoes. Like, I mean, I know Jordan's trying. They're not my favorite shoe, so
yeah. They're like their casual look actually look pretty decent. Like the Air Force E Jordan. And
the one Jordans you have are great. I like those a lot. Not the remake Jordans, like the Jordan, like whatever models they come out. Like the Jordan 7s, the Jordan 6s. Like, those don't really play well for golf.
Those aren't for me either.
Yeah, it's not my style. But your shoe, which is like a Jordan shoe that is specifically designed for a golf shoe, is great.
Yeah, I like that one. I really hope that Tiger is able to bounce back here. It just looks like every time he plays, it just looks like he's slowing down a little bit. It's a little bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. Isn't he like 47 this year? Yeah,
and he's like a fused back and a fused wrist and a fused ankle, and it's just like, I mean, he's just so stiff. And I get he loves the game and doesn't want it to leave, but maybe it's just time to go play the senior tour. And ride in the golf cart.
You can't.
Can't yet?
No, can't.
Okay, well, when he came with 50?
50.
Okay, so he's got a couple more years. Maybe he takes some years off and just stretches. I'm sure he does, but
I'm sure he's doing that every single day, maybe 6 times a week, dude.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got someone coming over stretching him.
He probably also has to do it for his back, just get around.
Yeah, just to move.
I just hope. I know that he's like the game's not where he wanted. I just want to see him finish a tournament and play well. Finish a tournament and be healthy.
Yeah, well, this tournament was very funny. Seems to be having some issues. There was food poisoning going around.
Yeah, was that what it was? He said it was influenza.
He had influenza. I think he was actually genuinely sick.
I think maybe other people were sick though too.
But I mean,
do you think it was food poisoning?
I think Siwoo Kim or somebody was jogging from the bathroom to the first tee box and almost missed his tee time.
Yikes!
I don't think that's influenza. I think you got poo-poo problems.
Yeah.
I mean, as a fellow man who shits his pants a lot, you understand what the poop run looks like.
I mean, you're looking at another guy right here too.
Right, that's what I was saying. You over there who poops his pants a lot definitely knows what a poop run looks like. Yeah, I mean, who even won?
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't really watch it. It's not my favorite tournament to watch, which is tough. But I mean, golf to me, viewing wise, such an awful place.
We're in a bit of a crossroads here because we have LIV and we have the PGA, and I feel like it's very split at the moment, and there's not a lot pulling for either direction. Now, when the majors come around, of course, I'm going to be tuning in for the PGA. Of course.
The majors are great. I think one of my favorite tournaments is coming up. It's the one that's in Carolina. It's like Bay, and it always seems to be like
Bay Hill.
Yeah, Bay Hill is always nice. So I'll watch some of that. But in general, like I love watching golf. And if it was my full-time job, you best believe I'd be watching it full-time. But I think golf is in a weird spot where we're not getting the same buzz with the professionals.
Seems like it's not. I don't know. At least in my world, it's not. It's not getting talked about enough.
I don't know how you change it up to make it more interesting. Maybe we should think of some ways.
We need to renovate the game. We need to renovate how. I love it. I'm not even part of the PGA, but I got some ideas over here. We got some ideas, baby. We need to renovate the shot-to-shot coverage on the PGA Tour. We need to see more golfers. We need to see the bad shots and the good shots and the okay shots. We just need more coverage. Okay, we just need to fly around. We need about 5 seconds of pre-shot routine, and let's move on to the next golfer. We don't need 45 seconds to a minute of talking about the rules of where he's going to be dropping it. I'm like, I might as well be taking a nap right now watching this.
Yeah, the PGA, like Liv does a great job. If you watch Liv, because I did watch the Las Vegas tournament, way more golf, way more like shots and graphs and more poppy colors and like where they're putting at, like PGA Tour. Take a page out of their book. They're stealing your golfers.
Take little nuggets.
Steal their UX. Like steal their design.
Yeah.
Like it clearly
make it
clearly
pop a little bit more. We got to make something to make it more enjoyable for the viewer. I just want to see more golf. Honestly, I'm tuning in here and I only see two groups.
Right.
That's it. I only see the leaders.
You have no idea where it's streaming at. You got to watch ESPN in the morning, then the main group at night.
Then also goes the Peacock, like after the NBC coverage. I'm like, dude, I don't, what?
I'll tell you what you need to do. Sell your golf thing to YouTube because NFL's already there. NFL can do the red zone, commercial-free football for how many hours? You need to figure out how to make basically commercial-free golf.
For sure.
Because it's the amount of golf commercials is bananas.
And there's all the playing throughs. It's just outrageous how many. But ESPN has it a little bit, but it's the featured groups. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. Give me 3 featured groups.
Yeah, give me 3 featured groups.
But they all like they're on like the multi-view and they're circulating constantly.
Yeah, give me something to like. It's
keep
like
me
a sports
engaged.
book.
Yeah, exactly.
And better graphs, and also like they are doing a better job with the announcers. I do think Kevin Kisner was great in the booth. Let's get back more to color commentating.
Yeah,
like you need to have personality in the booth to keep you engaged. I know there might be some risk with sponsors and shit, but at this point, who cares? Bring in some color commentary.
Mm-hmm.
Bring in some X Factor. I think Kiz does a great job. Who else is this guy? He's a shorter guy. He wasn't there at the Waste Management. Colton Host, I think, is great as well.
Colton Host.
Yeah. I just think you need to have more. Bring like guests, like have Bob Dove Sports stream a golf tournament for a weekend. Have them commentate.
Because as of right now, I feel like YouTube is rivaling the PGA Tour. In viewership right now.
Yeah, I think if you put it on YouTube, I don't think you would have any issues with old people have to go on YouTube to watch Sunday Ticket now. YouTube is very user-friendly. It's so easy.
Yeah.
You just type in the app, type it at the top, PGA, it starts at 9, and it goes till 5. And you can have it on all day. And there that way YouTube can afford it. You know where your ticket's at. It's the same place.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
I like that.
It works way better for you. Everyone has a smart TV, even your guys' generation. And if they don't, like, how many 80-year-olds are really growing the game of golf? How much are you really getting from 80-year-olds?
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Like, you need to start, going for younger generations.
And also they can, like, plug in a laptop. Or they can go on their iPad.
Get a Fire Stick for $20.
Yeah, you're gonna be fine. I mean, you just figure it out that way. It's easy.
It's you're not trying to appeal anymore to the 65, 70, even 55-year-old people. You're trying to start appealing to like our age demographic and younger. You want to bring more people into this game. And I don't think you have the issue. COVID kind of saved golf because for a while there it was like pretty abysmal.
Yeah.
But I do think it can get some more love. Speaking of golf, this is what the friends and family tune in for. We had our annual Ryder Cup, year 3 in the books.
What an absolute blast of a tournament, dude. It always is.
Yeah, it's
always is. And we go through a little bit of like a hurdle phase of There's a lot of planning. There's a lot of check marks. There's a lot of dates we got to meet. We got booking tea times and researching courses and making it friendly here and there. There's a little bit more that goes on to it than just let's pick 3 courses and let's go play. Scheduling and all that kind of stuff with a bunch of different schedules and people. But every single year when we finish it up, we seem to make minor tweaks here and there that make things go a little bit smoother.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that we're actually hosting something.
Yeah, that's always really fun, dude.
No, shout out to Dave. Wouldn't be possible without him. The Ryder Cup is extremely cheap for what we're doing because of Dave. I don't know if it'd be possible outside of that. I'm sure it could be, but it'd be a little bit more expensive.
For sure.
So we probably wouldn't be able to play as much nice golf as we're playing.
Just the cleaning fee is that's it.
Yeah,
really just a homey up move.
It's a great little area, close to the freeway. It can get us to and from. Dave's place is unreal. If you want the Airbnb, we'll definitely send you the link. Just reach out to us on this Instagram. We'll help you out. It's like sleeps like, 7 people, 8 people comfortably, 9 people
I think it can sleep. Well, because there's also mattresses in the king bedroom as well.
8 beds individually. There's 2 twin mattresses in the closet that you can drop.
Double bunk beds, queen mattress, king mattress, 2 twin mattresses in the casita, and there's room for air mattresses. It can fit about 12 people in there.
Nice pool on a golf course.
Jacuzzi.
Everything about the place is so great.
It's called the Green. Or the Greens.
The Greens.
That's like the theme of the place.
It'll be in the link, but it'll be linked in the bio.
And when you're down there, go ahead and leave a comment. Go ahead and like and subscribe.
Comment and subscribe on the YouTube. Second video coming up. But anyways, back to the Ryder Cup. Last year, we can get in a little bit of the Cabbage stuff with it. Your boy over here was not present at all.
Last year stuff.
I was drinking a lot. And just was so worried about everything else around me in my golf game and what was going on and where we're going and how this is going to work. And
also just kind of corralling everyone and making sure we're all on a good schedule. We're all going to be making the tee times. It's just, you need that you need that in your life to kind of just make sure that everything's going to be okay. We're going to keep moving on here, that you kind of forget to just chill and just be present.
Yeah, I'm always so worried about cultivating something. Yeah. When I have to plan something for other people,
you worry about it a lot.
If it fucks up for me, I can give 2 shits.
Yep. Yeah. That's always been you.
Like if I mess up a plan for myself, no big deal. Mm-hmm. But if I mess up a plan for other people, that drives me crazy.
Yeah.
So when I plan something, or when we plan something, I always do my best to make it as efficient as possible. Efficient, fun, time-saving, like ease of the trip. And for whatever reason, last year I just didn't have it. I don't know if it wasn't whatever was going on.
Well, the dinner that we cooked last year was like forever.
It took us.
We were scrambling all over the place. We were running all over the place. We were having to get groceries. The biggest change up, I think, this year was just our off the course work.
Off the course work
was exceptional.
Yeah, I mean, this is a new hack I heard recently. Grocery store pickup. Obviously, everyone knows about it, but few do it because when you're normally doing grocery store pickup, there's some kid back there picking your food, and they don't give 2 shits if your apple's bruised all hell for your house. Where you're going out there, you're like, I need this apple to last me like 5-6 days. I'm making a dinner 2 nights from now with this. So you want nicer stuff. Now, for a grocery store pickup for a boys' trip or a vacation, who cares?
Yeah, who cares if the one banana is like bruised and not looking great? You're buying 40 bananas.
Right.
Like, it doesn't matter. It's one banana. It's all good.
Move on.
Yeah, exactly. We had a couple produce picks, and like we're getting onions and cilantro, and it's like we're getting 4 of them. And if like one of like a half bunch is not looking great, all good. We got like an extra one.
Right. And most of the time, it's not going to be that bad, but it would be maybe worse quality than what you would pick for your own self.
Exactly.
So that saved like easily 2.5 hours.
Dude, grocery shopping for like 8-9 people in a
After
store.
you're golfing,
In a store you're not familiar in too. It's just tough.
you're just sitting there like, how much do we need? I don't want to come back with a grocery bill that's unreasonable for people. Like, who's drinking what and what does this person want? Because when you go, hey, we're going to the grocery store, everyone hits you with something. Instead of you going like, oh, we already got the shit, whatever.
Now, if you want to get extra stuff, just stop on the way home.
Right.
From the golf course, stop at a grocery store, grab your 6 things that you want. Boom,
Right.
that's for you.
Right. And it made it a lot easier. Also realizing these people are grown-ass men.
Yeah, we're all basically 30.
Like they can, if they're really struggling, like and starving, they can fucking get in the car and go pick up food.
Or
Like we don't
Postmate
have
something.
to have 400 snacks and
Yeah,
we're
getting
30 drink options and
Yeah, the pickup groceries, that was a goated move. That was awesome all time. Bryce came in really hot with the al pastor and the carne asada, pre-cut, pre-marinated.
fire.
Amazing. And my God, dude, cuties and halos.
Yeah.
Those guys. Wow. I mean,
that went quick in the house.
that was awesome.
We had how much pounds? 10 pounds of meat?
10 pounds of protein.
And
We
people
ate
were
9 of
looking
it.
at-
We
yeah,
ate 9 of
people-
it in one night.
Yeah, and there was and people made quesadillas at night, and the meat was gone. And it's just funny how much food you think you go through as like 9 dudes, and I think our grocery bill was nothing. So that was amazing. That took so much stress off. You prepaying for the rounds of golf, a tremendous hack.
For sure.
It took off like 20 minutes of a check-in, which drives me crazy.
Yeah, because you don't want 8 people going up to the register. I'm paying for one. I'm da-da-da. Like, dude, just
And
if
if
I
you
can
have to
do
do
it
it,
and
I
then
get
just
it, but-
the Venmo request right after, that's always great. Like it's awesome.
That makes it easy. The golf-
Arriving to the course early and calling it a little bit earlier too, so you can actually get like you can wake up at 9:30 or 10. You're like feeling pretty good about yourself.
Yeah, I mean, we focused heavily on trying to not be dead after this because you have to go back to work the next day. You also have to play 3 rounds of golf. And people are like, oh, that doesn't sound very hard. Until your body starts to hurt. Like there was a lot of boys out there that were struggling heavily around, Sunday.
I mean, there's plenty of people. I get sore after 1 round of golf.
Yep.
You're
And if you
swinging
don't
the club
play a lot of golf, it gets very tiring. Last year we had 2 guys out. This year we had 1 guy out. And so part of the Ryder Cup is taking care of your body.
Yeah.
And how much you're going to drink because you're going to drink. And Team Europe and Team USA will make the other team as drunk as possible.
100%. Oh yeah. I don't even know how many shots you actually took on night 1, but you handed me about 6 to 7.
I had a lot of shots night 1.
Night 1's always a little bit like
Night 1 for
letting the
anything.
cat out the bag kind of situation.
Night 1 for anything. Anytime if I drive into Vegas at 12 at night and I'm like, okay, well, I'm pretty tired. As soon as I drop that bag off and we're in Vegas.
And you walk through that casino, lights flashing.
You're hammered.
Oh,
You
yeah.
might as well just go back and just call it the night because you're gonna have 2, 3 really stiff cocktails. You're probably gonna have no food on the stomach.
Yeah, you're also going to be having a bottle and you're going to be having alcohol in the room. So you're like, oh, we might as well like gamble till 3, 4 in the morning. No problem. We're
Right.
here.
And you're hammered. And you're like the most drunk you've been the whole trip is night 1. And that's exactly what happened again.
Yeah, but that's okay. We
But
know that.
you just know that's gonna happen. That's just who I am.
But that's why I love doing the no breakfast. We get the breakfast at the course, and we play Dave's place, Dave's golf course, where we have to drive like 2 minutes to get to the golf course.
Yeah, that was pretty great. The course itself, pretty
Tough, man.
Tough.
Oh,
but
I don't know if we're gonna go back there and play that course.
No,
again.
that was the last year because the people suck there. The course isn't good enough.
Of course, the course does suck. You know what course doesn't suck though? Terra-Lago
Terra-Lago
and Silver Rock.
and Silver Rock were 2 highlights.
Terra-Lago brought the heat. I know we like talking about the golf courses here because we can also give shout outs for worthy places to go and play. Terra-Lago might be the best bang for your buck out in Palm Springs because I don't think we've played anything quite like that. The setup was a little funky as far as where the driving range was located because you needed to have someone take you there.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of a bummer. Did you have to buy golf balls, though? Because I don't think you had to.
No, I didn't have to. They didn't tell us we didn't have to.
See, that's crazy to me because it's also $76.
Right.
Including cart. Mm-hmm. There's 2 18s there.
Right.
And it includes range golf balls and a beautiful putting green with massive undulations and slopes. Greens were in pretty good conditions. Not a single house in sight. You forgot that where you were like playing in like civilization. You felt like you were playing that true desert golf style at times.
Terra-Lago was like a new master community. It was elevation changes on the course. You were playing in the mountains, and they had man-made lakes that were super interesting. The whole layouts were great. I think you're right. For $75, now it's going to have awful reviews on the site because, of course, for $75, the course is going to be slammed. But that's what you're getting. Go if you're worried about it being.
We played a little slow, but like it was still a 5-hour round. And when you're playing competitively and it's beautiful out, who really gives a shit?
Yeah, I completely agree. If you're a local or not a local, but if you're trying to play golf and you're trying to squeeze in a twilight round to make it cheaper, I don't know if that's the course for you. I don't know if you're going to get through 18 there. You'll have a better shot at a more expensive course at a twilight, right?
Sure.
But if you want to go spend $75 at 1 o'clock
on a weekend, 1 o'clock,
and you'll definitely on a daylight savings time, you're going to get through 18. Like we got through 18, did not daylight savings time, and we were playing like 5-hour round. Like it's just you're going to be there, and you're not going to hate it either. Let me tell you, it's gorgeous.
Island green, and they also had a really cool par 4. That was like 280 yards, sharp dogleg right, but water all over the place. Yeah,
and bunkers near it. It was like an island, 2 back-to-back island greens, but one was truly an island green, and the other one's fairway jettied into a very skinny island green.
Yeah,
which I thought was gorgeous.
That was sick. I think the hole was called "Go For It" as well.
Yeah,
because you could pipe a drive and like it carries like 260 the water, 250 water.
I carried it.
Papa carried it.
It rolled into the bunker.
Wow.
I barely got over.
I don't know how he walked back to the car with that dick just slanging all over the place.
I didn't try to carry it. I thought I put it in the water. At that point, I had a really nice round going. So it was a big shot for me.
Nice.
Came out of there with par. But great course. Silver Rock. I loved it. I thought it was the best canyon golf, like next to a rock I've played. Gorgeous. The fairways immaculate. Greens were great. Everything about the course is super, super cool. The Marshall sucks though. So that took away from it for me a bit. It touched us like 4 different times.
I was trying to let that water just run right off my back, dude. I drove right past that Marshall. I barely even engaged in him.
Yeah, you did the high thing, and he slowed me down. Of course,
I left you thick in the weeds in the Cabbage, baby.
Yeah, I mean, and it's pretty typical with whatever. If there's ever an issue like that, not you leaving me handling it, but for whatever reason,
they come to you.
They come to me. And Zach looked at me. He's like, he's just talking to you. I'm like, I know. I don't know what it is, man. But yeah, it was a great course. I don't know how to even describe it either. It's like a resort style golf course at not a resort style price, but also more interesting and in the canyon. Might as well play it now because the price of that course is about to skyrocket double once the hotels and stuff gets done being built on it.
I think it's going to be less pretty too. Because if there's going to be a big hotel that is going to be put on the property.
I don't know about that because there's just so much construction. I think, and plus it's the Montage in Laguna Beach.
Yeah, that's true.
It's going to look real nice.
I think they're going to like maybe keep it a little bit lower, like it'll make it a little bit more like laid back. It's going to be bungalows,
they said.
Oh, yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, they didn't say it was going to be like a hotel. They said it was going to be bungalows.
Okay.
And you can tell they were doing a check-in area, a check-in for like the clubhouse again. So it was under construction and we saw it. Which we might have just caught it at like the cheapest.
I was going to say, go and play both of these courses within the next year or two, because I don't think they're going to keep their price. No, honestly, there's like someone's going to go play it. Good. Bob Does Sports is going to go play Terra-Lago, and it's going to turn into 75 into 125 real quick.
Your head's going to spin, or they finish the homes out there, and they won't have to. Then everyone's just going to slam it. Silver Rock is going to be so expensive. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous piece of property.
I don't know what more you could ask for as far as desert golf goes when you're hitting up against mountains, massive rocks all over the place.
Yeah, it's beautiful it's beautiful desert golf, right? I think that's what you kind of said it. I think it's the most beautiful desert golf I've played.
Pristine conditions, great. It had a lot of trees as well. There were tree troubles all over the place.
The cliff you're on, the greens were perfect. The water features were interesting. It was all spectacular.
Lakes, mini waterfalls. I feel like it kind of had it all. Big undulations on left and right sometimes, but then it was pretty flat at times.
Tough.
Yeah.
Gave you everything you can ask for.
And because the mountain is right there, luckily we had a very calm day, but in the evening it started getting windy and it started messing with my golf ball quite a bit and it threw off my yardages a lot.
Yeah.
And I didn't really realize it until I got in trouble on a couple of shots, but that would pose a big, big issue when you're playing and sitting up against the mountain like that, because then all the wind just kind of funnels through in that area as well.
It could be the wind being playing with your ball a lot.
I don't know. Those are the two courses. Really good shout out. I think we really did a nice job finding those. As you're just the investigator over there.
You did too, buddy. I mean, Terra Lago was pretty known. Silver Rock, I didn't know about at all. You found Silver Rock.
Yeah,
that was a great find by you.
And apparently the Rams come down on the in the evening.
Didn't see any Rams.
I know, didn't see any Rams, but they're there.
Yeah,
that's like one of their main ironworks as like you're coming through the gates, which is really cool.
It's great courses.
Also, fire golf carts.
Great golf. Some of the best golf carts. I have the facilities. The driving range was great. The putting green sucked. They had a nice chipping green. I didn't use it. Overall, though, what a great weekend. There's some other things we want to touch on here, like some of the best shots we saw, just to shout out some of the boys. Mm-hmm. Vinny almost had a hole-in-one.
Yeah, dude, that was close. That was on 14 of Silver Rock or something like that. Put it to a foot.
Bryce, I mean, there was multiple times where I saw long irons in his hand and then putting it on the green for us in the scramble, which I was like, wow.
Zach was rolling the rock as well for a good chunk of the weekend.
Zach making putts left and right.
Long ones.
Davis actually being able to play golf. Shout out to Davis.
Was huge, dude. Huge. That was awesome to see. Because I know it can be times for the big fella.
Yeah.
And you want that as a host.
Max almost with a natty eagle on a scramble.
Yeah, that was insane, right?
Yeah.
And I think Max drove the ball just incredibly well, too.
Yeah.
Incredibly well. Was bombing it in our scramble. I want to give some shout-outs here to Con, but I think we can laugh this one off and say that what just wasn't his weekend.
Con didn't have a good weekend.
No.
Con struggled.
That was a big old toughy one for him.
But he did come up big on the Sunday match and pushed my...
That was huge. He came out and cranked out
like a par
when we needed it. Par net birdie?
Yeah. For
on the par 5?
Yeah, that pushed the team play to
that was big time
draw, even though it didn't matter because USA crushed you guys.
Way to find that diamond in the rough there.
Yeah, but I think Con came up with a couple, shots and also vibes from Con all-time high as always.
Yeah, exactly. When the fact though, it was pretty funny when he opted for a Happy Gilmore drive. To actually keep it in play.
Yeah, and actually because nothing else was working. I mean, shots from you that I saw. You almost had a hole-in-one on a very long par 3, 190 something yards. You put a 4-iron from.
It was 212.
Yeah,
down the hill.
Yeah.
I thought it was going in. Honestly, that's why I remember it. 212 down the hill, 5-iron, over bunker, and bounced 6 feet short of the cup and just stopped rolling about a foot short. It was right on line.
I mean,
I whacked it in with my 5-iron.
That's how,
Yeah, I didn't put my club away and just, I thought I got in the cart with my 5-iron still in hands. I was like, oh my God, that was fucking, that was in.
It's in the cup.
Yeah, that was in. That was that was my main highlight, I thought.
You played great on Sunday. Classic. We need to talk about your absolute. Okay.
I thought I was going to narrowly escape
You
here.
were struggling-ish. You weren't playing your best golf all weekend.
It was hit and miss for sure. I would have
playing more like a 9.
Yeah,
you made a stroke or 2 underneath that, but you were closer to a 9 than you were your 5.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I was more towards my 12. I would say.
Yeah,
most of the time.
So then we're playing each other Sunday morning. Sunday morning. If for past
It's
notes,
game on.
Andrew, for all of college, did nothing but clap my cheeks in golf. I didn't beat him a single time. I also didn't ask for strokes. It was stroke play. It was never match play. And you beat me 90 times or however many times we play golf.
Whatever.
Finally, I beat you like once recently when we started doing match and stroke. I almost beat you gross one time with no pops.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been closer. But for whatever reason, when you know you're playing me, and it's just when you play me individually. When we play Masters, you don't always have the juice. When it's like a team thing.
When it's the one-on-one thing.
When it's you versus me, you turn into a prime Tiger Woods, and you come out and you throw an absolute game together on Sunday. You might have fallen a bit apart on the back nine, but that could have just been from the drinks, being tired, it's Sunday. And also, in reality, you were out of it at that point.
Yeah.
Like once Z beat Con by hole 12, I think that was it.
Yeah. I was pushing for the team win though, so I did have some like bad holes.
Right.
It's just like they kind of just popped in there, but I don't know. What are you gonna do, dude? What are you gonna do? I just lock into a different beast.
Yeah, and it's just
or you just bring the best out of me.
So infuriating. And then when I play with you,
oh God.
And then when we play together, we have the worst in us. Like I don't play well when I'm against you, really, or when I play with you.
It's a shocker. I don't know.
When I play like separate from you, and like you have your own thing going on, I have my own thing going on. I play much better.
We're working through the kinks. We
played much.
I think
better.
we got to give ourselves a little bit more credit there, bud. I think this past year in Miles Square, I thought we started playing pretty well.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah.
After like a heartbreaking
and
heart to heart.
I was gonna say a little powwow in the car afterwards.
Yeah, after getting absolutely clapped by.
Here you go.
Cameron.
We got to lock in a little bit. This has been pathetic.
Yeah, haven't won anything, haven't done anything together, haven't played well together. But yeah,
and you had some unbelievable shots too because you were clutching up a lot with the short game on Friday. You played really well on Saturday, and you played. I think maybe slightly outshined on Sunday when I was playing against you, but you had plenty of good drives. Solid drives, good iron shots. We're getting a ton in trouble, so it wasn't just any standout shot in that sense.
My game wasn't all weekend very standout-ish.
But you had some clutch shots on Friday that I unfortunately didn't get to see. And I'm sure Saturday was the same
big one
thing.
was 18. We're about 83 yards out.
Oh yeah,
and everyone on 18 is essentially one's in the water, one's long, one's so far right. So no one's on the green even at this point. So all I'm thinking about, because there's water short, like just can't be short.
Mm-hmm.
Can't be short. Have to get it there. And if you go long by 10 yards, who cares? But I end up clipping it perfectly. Hits like the very front green. Like it wasn't even in danger front green. It was like clearly on the green.
Yeah.
And then just rolled to like a foot.
Yeah, it's solid.
And tap in bird for the dub. So that was probably my highlight shot. Normally I come up a little short there. Normally, Papa comes up a tad short when the pressure's on, but for whatever reason, I just
you had that clutch gene turned on this weekend.
I just lied to myself. I said I am this guy. I can do this, and I kind of manifested the good shot.
You sure did.
It was.
And you sure did.
Just kind of lied to myself. I'm like, in reality, do I think I'm that guy? No. Do I think I'm that good of a golfer where I can clutch up like that? No.
And that moment, though.
And I just kind of lied to myself and did
80-yarder.
Yeah.
You got that in the back pocket. No problem. I've done this before. So.
Yeah, buddy. We're at an hour here. Let's go. We got to go work out. We have some In-N-Out to grab. We got a rest of a night of
I'm so hungry. I kind of like recording it a little bit earlier, but now we got to go lift some heavy shit. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
No. We got to get back in the saddle.
We got to go get back in the saddle.
We got to get right back into it,
You got anything for the people?
Yeah, I want to give before we sign off here. I want to do an MVP. I want to do an MVP of the Ryder Cup, and I'm going to make this a co-MVP. Okay. And I think the MVP overall goes to Bryce. He didn't lose a single point, didn't draw anything. So he won scramble. He won the Saturday matchup against me. It was tight. Mm-hmm. Really bummed about losing that one, if not tying it, because we were tied in the 18th, but came up clutch there. God, he was just a menace on the back nine with me. And then on Sunday, he won the team and the individual. And so that dude just brought in, what is that? Three and a half points.
Yeah, 3.5 points by himself.
Yeah, and the final score was an abysmal one. It was 6.5 to 2.5, or sorry, 6 to 2.5.
Yeah.
So, but Bryce brought in 3.5 of those points in his matchups. So that's huge.
Gotta give the game ball to Bryce.
And he also went to the Mexican market and got the protein. Was pre-cut, marinated, and he also got some onions and some cilantro as well, and limes. Awesome. And I'm gonna give a shout out to Dave. I think that's co-MVP.
Always Dave, co-MVP.
I just the fact that I don't know if he had won a point prior. I'm not sure. I think maybe he's like squeaked out a point here or there.
I think he's maybe drawn before.
He won a matchup with the scramble, and then he won the team event
and
the following day.
Rock during the scramble for us. Dave actually gave reads, which was great. We asked him just if he was going to miss past the hole.
Yeah,
not blast it past, but just miss past the hole,
like 3 feet.
And he did it almost every time. Or if he missed short, we saw the break well enough.
Yeah.
And
super cool.
Dave and I went out and won Saturday.
Yeah, that's a big point right there.
Yeah.
So I think that's the monkey off the back. You just got to give a shout out for a guy getting his first point, and a little shout out for the host too. So all good stuff. So that's what I got for the people.
All right. Well, hey,
take us away here.
Like, comment, subscribe, because
you need to.
Because you need to. Because you want to. Because you need to.
We need you to.
Right.
And you love us.
Because we're in the Cabbage. And just a reminder, keep swinging.